Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making pumpkin spice creme brulee.
It's beautiful. It's sweet. It's irritatingly perfect.
And this is a lot easier than you might think. To start this dish, we need 1 vanilla bean. We're just going to use a knife to cut this in half. Then we're going to go in with the edge of our knife and start scraping out all those gorgeous little vanilla seeds. You're going to see this speckled throughout your creme brulee. Then we're going to pop the pod and all the seeds into a small saucepan. And to this, we're going to add 2 cups of heavy cream. Now we need the spice part of this pumpkin spice, so in go 4 whole cloves, 1 large stick of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to bring this over to the stove and cook this over low heat just to bring this up to a very gentle simmer. We don't want to boil our heavy cream. Give this a little stir to incorporate all those ingredients and to disperse those vanilla bean seeds. I almost forgot, we also need just a pinch of freshly ground nutmeg. If you don't have nutmeg seeds, then you can just use the jarred kind, but I definitely think there's a different flavor. Once you start noticing little bubbles around the edge of your cream, at this point you can shut off the heat. We're going to cover this with the lid and let this steep for 15 minutes. While our cream is steeping, we need to separate 5 egg yolks from their whites, and I'm using large brown eggs here. Now there are a number of ways that you can separate egg yolks from their whites. You can use the eggshell itself, or you can use an egg separator. You could do the plastic bottle method that I've seen before. Definitely save your egg whites because you can make a beautiful egg white omelet with this. I have found the easiest way to separate yolks from whites is simply use your hands. Just pop the whole egg into your hand, and the whites should run through your fingers while you're cupping the egg yolk. Once all your eggs are separated, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla paste, which I'm using, and 1/3 cup of caster sugar. Then we're going to whisk this all together. I'm not using a stand mixer or hand mixer for this because not everyone has those tools in their house, so I wanted to do this old school way. We're going to beat this until the yolks become a much paler yellow. And once it reaches that color, we're going to add in 1/3 cup of unsweetened pumpkin puree. Just scrape all that in there, and we're going to mix this until everything is thoroughly combined. It's going to turn this beautiful golden orange color. Now we need to strain out our cream just to remove those large spices. The vanilla seed should fall through your strainer because again, you want to see that nice little speckle. And now we need to temper our egg yolks. We can't dump the cream in immediately because it'll scramble our eggs and we'll have this beautiful pumpkin scrambled egg, which we don't want. So we want to add this in slowly. So just add in a ladleful at a time, whisk that in, and this is just going to bring those yolks up to temperature. After you've added in that 1/3 ladleful, this should be tempered at this point, so you can go ahead and tip in the rest of that nice beautiful cream. And you want to whisk this until everything is fully incorporated. Now we need to strain this again, just to make sure there are no scrambled eggs in this, and just to get the smoothest, most beautiful custard we can find. I am going to strain this right into this very large measuring cup because this is going to make it easier to pour into our ramekins. I find chopsticks are the easiest way to get things through a strainer, liquid or solid like flour. But use whatever method you like, use a spoon, spatula, whatever works best for you. Now I have 4 ramekins here. These are 4-ounce ramekins, and I'm just filling this 3/4 of the way full. And I have these in a deep baking sheet because we are going to cook this the bain-marie method. At this point, you should be preheating your oven to 320 degrees. Now I had enough for 5, so I had this cute little weck jar that I thought would make a perfect vessel for our creme brulee as well. So now that our ramekins are filled, we need to fill the pan with boiling water. Please be careful not to get any of the water into your actual creme brulee because it won't set. So this should come up halfway up the ramekins, and we're going to bake this in the oven for 50 minutes. After 50 minutes, our creme brulee should be cooked. They should still be a little jiggly in the middle, but set. We're going to let these cool in the pan for 5 minutes before we take them out and cool them completely on a baking rack. These are a beautiful orangey, yellowish color, and they smell delicious. Once these have cooled completely, I'm putting these back into that baking dish because we want to cover these up with a little plastic wrap and let these sit in the fridge overnight to set. Now it's the next day. We're going to sprinkle over 1/2 tablespoon of caster sugar over the top. And we're either going to use a brulee torch. If you don't have that, you can stick this under the broiler, and we're going to brulee the top. This is going to give that nice, beautiful, shattery crunch that we have to break through to get to the goodness below. You're going to get some burnt bits, and you're going to get some golden bits. This is the beauty of a creme brulee. Now once that first layer is nice and bruleed and it cools a little bit, we can go in with another 1/2 tablespoon on top of this layer, and we're just going to repeat the process. If you're using a brulee torch, just go back and forth and cover that whole surface area. And then I just made some sugared cranberries that we're going to decorate and garnish with. That is a satisfying crunch. Sorry about the little smiley face. My really warped image of me was in that from the camera reflection in the spoon, and no one needs to see that. The taste of this is, you get this subtle pumpkin spice in this. It is creamy. That brulee top adds a little bitterness from the burnt sugar, and most of the sweetness comes from that top part. But again, it's not too sweet because you get burnt bits, you get that creamy custard underneath, and this is absolutely delicious. But there it is, pumpkin spice creme brulee. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, subscribe and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Until next time, happy Thanksgiving and happy cooking. Beautiful.